Welcome back to Comic Vibe. I'm your man James Flames here in New York City's Comic Con. Now it's time to take you to the exclusive Walking Dead panel. Let's go downstairs and check it out.
Turn your video on again, Steve. Everyone at once say hi, Steve. You want to get a video of everyone saying hi, Steve on your phone?
What?
Never mind. You want to? Yeah, that would be awesome. That was like 4,000 people or something. So everyone at once, hi, Steve. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Steve!
Okay. Everybody, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Steven Young sucks. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3.
Steven Young sucks!
Wow.
The batteries are done.
Oh, that iPhone 4. Try to make a phone call this weekend. Good luck! All right. Anyway, you guys, again, I just have to say the performances have been amazing. The first episode is incredible, and you guys, if I had a hat, I would take it off to you. I'm not going to get a hat after this. But how's it been? I mean, like, every day for you guys is so incredibly emotional. What is a typical day like for you, John? Let's start with you.
It's good to see all you guys again, and thanks for your support. We love the show as much as you guys do, and we really love each other. And I'm not just being a douchey actor who says how much we love each other. We do, and I can't tell you how much it means to us to have your support and for you guys to scream the way you do and you to be into it the way you are, because we love this show with all our hearts. So thank you guys so much. That's all you have to do. We work hard. We work hard and we sweat a lot, but we couldn't be happier. It's the job of a lifetime, and we know how lucky we are to be here. So thank you.
All right. A little behind the scenes, like what was that scene like for you? Like just trying to put the gun back together, guy crashes the Winnebago.
I dislocated 4 ribs shooting that scene, so
Wow. Workman's comp. You can make a pile.
But it's kind of cool because it's kind of like the stripes of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That was my first big zombie kill, and I was all bruised. My ribs were all jacked up, and I just kind of felt like I earned my day's work.
Yeah. Did you have to apologize to that guy when you drove a screwdriver in his eye hole?
Well, I was like, you can't talk to me. He was so sweet. He was the sweetest guy, and he was wearing Ray-Bans, smoking a cigarette, and he'd like seen all the work I'd done prior to Walking Dead, and he was just like so cute. And I'm like, dude, like I can't talk to you because you're so sweet, because I have to be terrified of you in like 5 seconds. But you know what? All of the zombies on our show are so amazing. They all went to zombie school. But they're like, it's like a dance. I mean, if they're not fantastic, then you can't sell the fear of the show. And it's not just the brilliant special effect makeup that Greg does, it's their performance. They really get into it, and they make our jobs easier because they're friggin' unbelievably scary.
I mean, when you said zombie school, some people laugh like, yeah, zombie school, but there really is a zombie school. There really is to learn how to.
They walk and talk and turn in a chair.
Just like that.
Zombies don't actually talk on it.
Sure.
What's my motivation? You're dead.
All right.
Steve, I think this is going to be a big season for Glenn too, because Glenn. I don't know. I mean, all I've seen was the first first episode, but I know just like, you know, throughout the story of the comic, Glenn's just this kind of like spry kid who ends up having to like grow up and become a man and become kind of a badass. So what are we looking forward to this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to play Glenn because you identify with him because it's like, yeah, after the zombie apocalypse happens, you want to make your mark on the world. You want to be the hero. He wants to do the right thing and have everyone look up to him in a way. But then he does that kind of recklessly and without really thinking about valuing his life. But then you know, you might meet people along the way, and you might, you know, strike up a conversation.
Glenn's got a girlfriend.
And it's cool because you see another side of him, which is to reassess everything that he's known before in this reality, and it opens up the character, because if you find someone or something to love or anything to love, it's a great reason to live.
And that person could be.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Lauren Cohan, you're new this season. You play the character of Maggie. How was it? First of all, had you seen The Walking Dead before you auditioned for the show? Yeah.
Oh my God! Seriously, this show has been so incredible. Like, everything that I get to do with Maggie, every experience I get to have with guys, it's like, I don't know, it's super exciting. Story, am I ready for our Hello? Hello? Right?
There's some aggressive people in the back. We don't have a problem hearing you, sir.
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, I come on, I'm in the farm, I'm Maggie Green, Herschel's daughter, and Glenn and Maggie get to form this really beautiful, hopeful relationship, which I think gives, like Steven says, these whole new questions to the characters on the show. I mean, for Glenn having someone that he cares about, and for Maggie too. I mean, it's first love for both of them that they experience in this, and it's nice to do that in a zombie show, especially when the stakes for the person you care about are so high and you get to fight. And yeah, I mean, it's been a ride.
And was the experience anything that you possibly could have imagined? I mean, you're coming into a war one basically, like this, you know, the show, the first season, all of a sudden it's huge and they kind of have it down, and then you come in and they're already, you know, they have to teach you how to check for ticks in the forest. And
yeah, no, the tick experience, but I didn't. It's great. I mean, it's just like jumping into the tornado. It really has been, and that's what Maggie gets to do when the group, when we see the group meet the farm, the green farm. So you really are just living in that experience. But the tick thing is another whole thing altogether. I mean, that's like, you hear the stories about the ticks and get so paranoid you start checking and forgetting you're rolling and you have your hands in your underwear and you're just like, oh my God.
First place a tick will go, right for the underwear.
But yeah, I mean, it's been like, yeah, big crazy.
And also, Chandler Riggs, you're amazing on the show, and you have such it's not like being a young actor on another show. Like Carl is forced to grow up like pretty quickly, and he's a really deep, intricate character in the comic series. So, I mean, how's this been for you as an actor?
Well, I mean, for me to just get to work with cats. I mean, to me that's fun. I mean, I really don't have to do anything because, I mean, these actors just get me so into stuff that they make my job so easy. But,
You're 28. Do you have Benjamin Button disorder?
So what I really like about Carl is that in the same series, I get to be two different characters. In the first season, I get to be this kid that's scared all the time in the background and keeping himself out of harm's way. And then in the second season, he evolves to a new level. He does the exact opposite. He puts himself in Harden's way. He starts lying, he starts stealing, and I guess that's a really good advantage for acting, because you get to be two different people in the same series. And again, working with a great actor.
As the clearly smartest and most articulate person in the room, how do you, I mean, like, you know, how old are you, Jen?
I'm 12.
12. So how do you get to that place emotionally, you know, like when because you've got some intense stuff coming up.
Well, I used to just think of my dog that I lived with my entire life dead. Now I think I've trained myself enough to where I can just cry out, man.
You're gonna get 4,000 phone numbers. Norman Reedus, thank you for being here as well. First of all, I have to compliment the sketch that you and Steve did on the soup was hilarious. You guys see that? It was the zombie soup thing. You guys were really, really freaking funny. I want to start swearing, but I can't. There's an intelligent 12-year-old in the room. But how's this season been for you? Because we're definitely going to see a different side of Daryl this season.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Daryl is, I mean, he can hunt, he can protect you, he can survive on his own, but he can't really connect with you emotionally. So it's sort of a different vibe for Daryl. You know, I've been saying it, like Daryl's the type of guy that like he needs a hug. Where if you try to hug him, he'll try to stab you. I'm just sort of sticking it out. But it's the second season. There's so many twists and turns with all of us that it's interesting to watch all of us.
It really is. I mean, I think, you know, most television shows don't deal with, you know, the kind of complex character arcs that you guys are experiencing. And I imagine, you know, when you showed up for the season, you really had no idea of what to expect. So how's that been so far?
Yeah, I mean, they were nice enough, you know, to bring us into the writers' room before the season started. So we got the opportunity to talk about our characters and how they would react and relate to other characters in the show. So I know it's kind of like on a film, you get to go from here to here and you know where you're going, but on a television show you kind of don't know what's coming next. So if you can just plant a little seed of something you would like to happen and it's sort of headed in that direction, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's what's going on.
Are there moments, and I guess we can just sort of go down one at a time, and just, you know, are there moments this season that were so overwhelming that you were like, holy crap, I can't believe we're doing this, like that maybe stuff, whether that might make it into the show or not, John? Anything stick out in your mind?
You know, we don't know what will make it in or what won't. I think it's amazing to me that we're allowed to kind of do whatever the heck we want as far as bashing and stabbing and slitting and blood and gore. And it's beautiful. I mean, I look at it now, what he does, it's art. It's not gross at all to me. It's beautiful. But when it comes to the sex stuff, you know, there's really strict rules. You know what I mean? So that part of it's always that part of it's always been weird for me. So there's things that, you know, I think as far as the sex stuff,
do not have unprotected sex with a zombie. I think you know that.
Yeah. But
Chandler, what's up, buddy? This cute face looking at me from down there. Like, what about for you, Lori? What's anything particularly stick out? Was that kind of your most memorable scene this season, or is there more intense stuff to come for you?
Oh, I'm just getting started. I can't give anything away.
I know, but how does it end?
That's my first. That's my first zombie kill. That's all I can say.
That's your first.
opinion.
Yeah, and Lori too. Like your character, I mean, you guys were basically on a road trip when it started. Now all of a sudden, you know, you have to become a soldier. basically. So where are you drawing from? Like when you go to work, like what stuff are you pulling from for Andrea?
You know, I mean, I'm thrilled with my character arc because, you know, it was exhausting being a sad sack that was suicidal all the time. A very necessary part of the story's telling. But I love the fact that she gets feisty and that she's like, I'm not going to be a victim and I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. And if I'm going to live in this world, I'm going to be strong. And she looks at the alpha males and says, okay, I'm going to learn this and this and take this and this. And, you know, she's determined to survive and be a leader. So, you know, I just feel exhilarated. The writing of the scripts is brilliant. I work with incredible people, as Chandler said it. He's so sweet. I mean, he makes us better too. For real. So, you know, I think we're just inspired by each other, by the material, by what we're doing. You know, it's beautiful. It's gold storytelling.
Yeah. Steve, it's probably going to be a pretty physically challenging season, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We bleed, you know, sweat and cry for this show, and you know, it's hard work, but it's so awesome, and it's lame to keep reiterating this point, but seriously, like, it's fun to come to work, not just because of the material, but because you get to work with your friends, and everyone wants to do such a good job that, you know, nobody's sandbagging, nobody's like, I think I'm gonna sit this take out, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, ever, you know, everyone's on every time, and it's a joy to work, and, you know, there might be times where you're sitting out, and it's open expanse, no cover, 100% humidity, 100 degrees, sun beating down on you, but, you know, we're just doing what we gotta do every day, so it's a blast.
Just rotting meat in the hot Atlanta sun.
Oh, it's nasty. And you know, I was gonna say earlier about the stuff that we don't know if they can get in or not, but it's hilarious because Greg's team does stuff that is so gross that while we're shooting it, like I'll be like, people will be like, that's never gonna make it in. Like, we're just shooting it for fun because it's just gross. Like, that's never gonna make it in though. And then inevitably in the cut, it gets in somehow. So I don't know who is watching these and censoring them, but
Obviously nobody.
yeah, right. Like, take the chips out of your hand and watch the show. Like, yeah, or don't. Right? Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But I think at this point, you know, the bar has been set a certain place, and if, you know, like, if Andrea went to stab a zombie in the eye and then it cut away to like, technical difficulties, please stand by, like, people would be furious. I mean, there's a certain, and actually there's a good question for Greg. Do you feel like, you know, how do you constantly raise the bar when, you know, when each episode there's a handful of like, holy crap moments?
Well, listen, I mean, you know what? I'm still a fan. I mean, you know, I love the comic book just like you guys do, and I love the show. If I didn't work on it, I'd be really upset. I'm lucky to be working on it. But I'm still a fan. So I put stuff in there that knowing the pedigree of the George Romero movies that I've worked on, and with Tom Savini and everyone that you know, I put stuff in there that I want to see, and it just so happens everybody else wants to see it too, so it sort of works out. But you know, like the scene with Lori in the RV, you know, we have multiple units shooting at the same time. We'll have main unit that'll shoot a lot of stuff, and then I'll go in with a second camera and I'll pick up inserts. And inevitably, I'm always picking up the stabbing, the blood, and the close-ups and the gory bits. And it's pretty much, I shoot whatever I want. You know, I mean, if I want to see somebody get disemboweled or some guy get his nose bitten off, if I want to shoot that stuff, I'll shoot it, and then they put it in because, it's, you know, I know the tone of the show, and I love that kind of stuff. And you know, it just, you know, they give me a lot of, they let me shoot whatever I want. I get to go shoot zombies, you know, and then they put it in.
You're experimenting on zombies.
Yes, indeed.
Lauren, as the new person on the show, were you prepared for the intensity? Have you ever worked on anything this intense before?
No, I haven't. And I think the great thing about the show too is that you come on and I never knew television could feel so much like theater. Just in the extent that you're like you're just watching, you know what I mean? Like part of you is just so enjoying what everybody's doing, and that's just extremely exciting. I mean, even our sets, like the set that we shoot off of Herschel's Farm, which you guys will see, is incredible. I mean, it's just probably one of the most magical places I've ever been, and we get to live there and work there, and you have such a sense of the beautiful, happy memories that have come before all this apocalypse, and just everything about it is just the most extremely experiential. It's great.
Yeah. Chandler, are you probably are the coolest person in your friend group, I would imagine. I mean, everyone, all your friends must know, like, you're on, like, a cool show on television. How's that experience for you in your personal life, but, like, to just, like, overnight, like, oh my God, Chandler Riggs, you're on Walking Dead.
Well, I like keeping the same friends and having them not, like, say, oh my gosh, I'm best friends with Chandler Riggs, everybody. And, I mean, I like it when I'm normal. And, I mean, of course, I love you guys.
Oh yeah, he's not throwing you away, don't worry.
I just like it when my friends are normal. And, I mean, some of them don't even watch the show. But, I mean, I guess I'm the coolest kid.
Norman was paintballing all day.
Yeah, I took my son Mingus and 7 of his friends to paintball earlier, right before I came here. So do you see my shoes?
So wait, so Norman, who won paintball?
I shot the shit out of those things.
This is for Merle. Blam. I think we have time for a few questions from the audience, and I want to give oh my God, that was a surprise. Oh yeah. Yeah, sir, push those girls out of the way. Show them who's boss. They got no chance.
Whoever wins the wrestling match asks the first question.
Sorry, ma'am. Great, yes, we have time for a few questions. What's your name,
We
sir?
have time for one.
My question basically is, would there be any different kind of zombies or any type of zombie evolution throughout the show?
Ooh,
It's interesting.
what do you think, Greg? What are we looking at? I mean, they're getting better. Believe it or not, like even though they look great in the first season, I have to say it's remarkable how much better they're looking in the second season as Greg and KMB like perfect their craft. As far as like story evolution of the zombies, I mean, I think they're kind of cool to begin with. So we're not going to be doing anything where they're getting smarter or weirder or growing tentacles out of their faces or anything like that. But I don't know. What do you think, Greg?
What did you learn? What are some specific things you felt like you learned in terms of makeup effects from the first season to the second season?
Well, the bicycle girl in the first episode last year became our sort of iconic walker. And being able to take our cue from the graphic novel and seeing, like hiring a lot of extras that really have great bone structure, and like literally, I see a guy like, dude, he's big eyes, he'd be a great zombie, and like stick the contact lenses. So there is an aesthetic choice that we pick for some of the featured zombies that I think look like the drawings in the comic book. I mean, we give them like wispy hair, and then the CGI guys put flies flying around them. And,
You go to the people in the grocery store and be like, you'd be a good zombie.
Oh, we do that all the time. We'd be like at a bar and be like, you'd be a great zombie.
Get in the van. What is your name, sir?
Hi, John.
Hi, John. What's your question?
I wanted to ask Greg if there were plans for more. This is New York, so it's going to be a little loud. If there are plans for more webisodes in the future, maybe we'll get backstory on some of the other characters.
Listen, I hope so. I mean, the guy who wrote the webisodes is in the front row, John Esposito. And, what was funny is that when the whole idea came up, instantly I knew exactly what story that I thought we should tell. like the day they aired, I got emails from people all over the world sending me their backstories for every zombie in the first season. Everybody has backstories for all their zombies. You know, I think, you know, the one thing was we couldn't really get into using any of the characters from the show because we have no idea where those characters will go from year to year. But I'm really, you know, 3 million hits the Webisodes got them up, so people really dug them, and I hope we do more.
Thank you. Is that something that you ever envisioned the comic? Like, oh, the backstories of the zombies. I mean, is this sort of just, is this like an extra fun thing to get to play with?
Well, I mean, it's very important in The Walking Dead that we always, you know, keep in mind that, you know, these are human beings. You know, they are zombies and they are monsters and they're trying to eat people. But it's very important to just remember the tragedy of, you know, the fact that they were once human, they were once our friends and neighbors, and you know, now they're flesh-eating monsters. But before they were good people, and it makes it sadder, and you know, it has a little bit more weight to it. And so I'm always trying to keep in mind, you know, little things about like who they might have been and stuff. Like, I don't go into that much detail as we did in the Webisodes.
I saw a guy today who had a shirt that said, "Zombies are people too," and it says "were." Really funny picture. Like, where'd you get that?
And then he was like, "Holy crap, you're cooking too!" Yeah, you can totally do it. Hi, what's your name? Nikki, what's your question?
You actually took my question, so I'll just say something.
Sit down, microphone.
I love you, Chris, anyway.
Okay.
We know Daryl's weapon of choice is the crossbow. If the zombie apocalypse came here, what would be your weapons of choice? As you, not your character.
Why is that creating a hubbub? That is a question we have all.
Me and my friends play it all the time.
Yeah. All right, that's a good question. Let's go down the list. John, what would your weapon of choice be?
I mean, I love the shotgun, but it's just so loud, you know? You know, man, I gotta say the crossbow. I know it's the most unoriginal, you just said it, but it's just so badass and it's quiet.
Lauren, what about you?
I'm gonna stick with a gun.
Like the gun?
A bow staff.
Like a Ninja Turtle?
Bow staff.
Yeah, like the Ninja Turtles. Lauren, have you formed this opinion yet?
Maybe a boomerang, like a bladed boomerang.
How do you catch it then?
I still don't believe that boomerangs actually work. I just feel like you throw them and go, all right, let's leave. Like, I don't know. They really come back? Chandler, what's your weapon of choice?
Probably a flamethrower with a bayonet.
Norman?
Wow.
Sword chucks.
What?
Sword chucks.
Sword chucks.
All right, guys, let's not laser eyes. Come on. What do you like?
Yeah. Judgment Eagles. Is that what you said?
Guys, this is not The Price is Right. Let's take it. $1. Stop. Let the man answer.
I did Sean Patrick Flannery to you. Yeah.
And my friend Norman and my friend Heather loves you.
Oh, hi.
All right, personally, I would go with the katana. It's nice weighted. Comes out of the back. Slices off zombies. They're soft like green cheese.
First of all, Robert, I want to mention that you were the Joss Whedon of zombies because you screwed your character so bad. They still say really intriguing and really like one of my favorite characters. I haven't seen the second season yet because it's tomorrow, but it's Michonne. Where is Michonne? I want to see the katana because that is something you can take down zombies with.
I can't get into particulars, but all I can really say is that everyone involved in this show loves Michonne as much as you guys do, and are dying to get her in the show as soon as possible. And she will definitely be appearing in the show. But we can't say when.
As long as you guys watch it, so let's also make sure we get a third season. We've got so many great characters that we want from Robert's comic books to put in the show, so.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, like, the fact that the first season was so huge and no one had seen anything like that on television before, and now when people know what the show, I mean, I don't think there's any question the second season is going to be amazing. But I think we have time for, let's have one more question. What's your name?
Hi guys. I gotta tell you, this is the first time, sadly, that I've seen any of this show, and I'm completely...
So naturally, I waited in line and got in line.
It's a cool Batman shirt, though.
I'm completely freaking hooked. And I think you guys are amazing. Completely hooked. And I love the cast you got, and all I want to say is keep doing what you're doing. And Greg, I just want to know what goes into making a zombie thing. I've heard it takes hours and hours, but...
It's pretty easy, right? 4 or 5 minutes?
It's at 10 minutes. I did 5 of them while you were asking that question. It's about an hour and a half it takes, but you know, my shop in LA is constantly sculpting new pieces and creating new makeups, and you know, that way they always look different. You never see the same look twice.
What's some of the composition of the zombies? It's like face meat and blood. Like, what is the composition?
It's different, you know, sometimes it's foam latex pieces, sometimes it's silicone, it's little wounds that literally wet them and peel the backing off and throw a bunch of blood on it and shoot.
That's awesome. Well,
guys, literally it's that easy.
Guys, the Avengers panel is coming up next. For The Walking Dead.